How's it going, my good friends? This is SirTech20 here. In the last video that I did, just talking about stuff that I've been doing for the past week, I mentioned that on 2nd of March, I'd be getting the NZXT Kraken G10 GPU bracket for my other 780 Ti. That way I could water cool it with the Corsair H50. Well, I got the bracket and everything's installed now, so I'm going to start off with this picture. As you can see, it's the box for it itself. I was sleeping when it arrived, so when I got up, I was like, hey, yeah, I got it, so I immediately got to work on it. Inside the box, and I realize now that I don't have the English stuff for this caution thing facing here. But the fan, this obviously goes it's toward the back of the GPU bracket thing to help cool the memory chips and the VRMs and everything else. It doesn't do the best job, I'll admit, but it still does a better job in a stock cooler, at least in my opinion it does. Then on this side, yeah, it's I don't know why they gave me zip ties. Because you only get one thing that has a cable, and that's the little fan that you get. And then right here is just the thumb nuts, as I call them. And you get your screws they were all actually properly threaded this time, which is good. But these screws, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. These screws have, like, specifically shaped, I mean, you can they're threaded. Whoops, sorry about that. They're threaded so you can screw the nut onto them, but they're shaped in a way right here to where you can fit them in the A, B, or C little wedges. And obviously, the wedge that you put the screw in and tighten it down in is dependent on your GPU. And since I use a 780 Ti, you put it in the C wedge. And once you put the screw through one of the holes and kind of hold it in place, you take the nut over the screw and you tighten it down. That way the screws obviously hold there. And then once you put it through the back of before you put it through the back of your GPU thing, that way you can mount the cooler onto it, you put these washers over the screws. That way the nut itself is not coming in direct contact with the back of your GPU. So, and then these right here, I think those are regular fan screws, which I didn't end up using. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. These screws are what you use to screw that little fan onto the back of or towards the back of the bracket. You'll see it in a few pictures from now. Yeah, that's the little fan there. It works pretty decent. I don't think it cools the VRM or the memory chips and everything else on a GPU as well as it could, but it's not a direct contact like the little there was like this thermoplate thing on the GPU that I had to remove that kind of pissed me off, but I had to because it wasn't working the first time I put it into my system because I didn't take that off before I put the NZXT thing on it. So then that's the beast that it's going on. Just a picture showing you guys what it's like with the stock heatsink and just how bulky this some bitch is. And yeah, this is the fan installed in the bracket, and right here is where the H50 piece goes. And once you install it on a GPU, the part where this fan's blowing onto is where the memory chips, the VRMs, and everything else are. Currently, my temperatures on my top water cooled one is 33. On my second one, you guys ready for this? Look at that. 35% fan. It's nice. It's nice. Okay. Yeah, and this is showing the back plate with the way that those nuts have to be. And you can see I have them positioned in the C parts, or C wedge for each of them, which is good. And then right here, see this right here's a part that I did wrong. This thermal plate thing, this big, nice, black, shiny thing, this has little thermal pads underneath it. They go on all the memory shit that, that's underneath this whole thing right here. Yeah, there was a little bit of dust right there, but whatever. And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it on there. I didn't even bother to look at the first 780 that I have this on because the thermal plate's off on that one as well. And I made the mistake of putting it on there, installing the little thumb screw jiggies on there, thinking that it's fastened down, which it wasn't. I mean, it was there. It was being held in place, yeah, but it was making just enough contact with the GPU that it wouldn't smear the thermal paste or really make that connection. It was just enough to actually touch the thermal paste, which is why when I was booting up my computer after I installed it like this, it'd get into Windows and like 5-6 seconds later my computer to reboot. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I eventually had to remove the thermal plate. And as you can see with the way that fan is, it's meant to blow on the memory chips that are underneath that. And since this thermal pad was right here, it was actually blocking all that, which is likely another reason why I was resetting. And here it is in my system. I know I didn't make any other pictures of me taking it off. I was just so pissed off that I made that mistake. The lines that you guys see in this video, the blue, red, and purple lines, that's the flash with one of the camera apps I was using. I just happened to use the app that doesn't work worth the shit to take this picture, but this just shows you guys that I have it in there and everything else, and it was a tight fit. I won't deny I have a different case in my bathroom that I was tempted to, like, you know what, fucking, I'm taking everything out of this case and putting it in that really huge one. It's the Roswell Blackhawk case, I think it's what it's called. Anyway, it's fucking huge. And, I mean, so far it's working good. It took me a little bit to get the radiator the way that I wanted like this. Excuse me. I actually wanted it to be fan and then radiator, you know, to be able to pull shit right through the case, but I couldn't because of the PCI Express power wires right here. And actually, granted, I know this all looks like a tight fit, and that wire that you guys see going its way up to the top of the motherboard and one of the fan connectors is actually that little fan that blows on the memory chips and the VRMs and everything. The way that these power wires are, due to the fact that, wow, fucking tooth. The way that those power wires are, and due to the fact that it's in such a tight space now, it actually, when you put this bracket on a GPU, due to the weight of just the way everything is, it'll actually bend your card a little bit, because it's not the stock heatsink. It is just a big block of shit, and you know it won't bend obviously because it's just the heatsink itself is just so solid. So your card stays straight in there once you have it connected into the PCI Express slot and you have it screwed in. You're just fine. The power of the weight of the power cables themselves will not weigh down your card. But with the way these right here are, you don't actually have that stability across the entire card. So your cards may bend a little bit depending on exactly how you have them installed. And since the way I have these power cords going, because they're kind of like right up against each other, it actually managed to push the card up just a little bit to keep it from bending, which I'm okay with. The tubing, it probably looks really tight. It's not. It's just the fact that I have these two hard drives right down here, and the wires can't just sag like they were, you know, like they want to. But it's really nice. I played some Dark Souls 2. I had it downsampled all the way up to 8K resolution. It was stupid. More resolution than you really would run a game. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm pushing this shit as hard as I can, and the hottest that I got was like 61C for both GPUs, and I was like, that's much better than 85, even with the fan at 100%, and you can't even hear it. So I'm cool with that. And granted, I'm obviously not going to play all games at 8K. I was just like, okay, time for the break-in period, or like the burn-in period, so to speak. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with it. Is the next picture the same thing? Okay, it's just starting over. Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and make this little video. I actually almost forgot about this. Just happy about the fact that it's actually in the computer now, and that I don't have to worry about the fucker overheating. As a matter of fact, yeah, my first GPU, the top one, the GPU diode, which is like the GPU itself, is at 35C, and the VRMs, which is the memory chips and everything else, is at 43C, which it's not too bad. And the second one is at 39C, and then the VRMs are at 39 also. Obviously, even like when you have SLI running, it's obviously like a bit of heat from the first cards and it drop onto the second one and make it run just a bit hotter, which it's the way it always does. But that is a hell of a lot better than what it used to be, and I'm very, very pleased with that. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and make this quick video letting you guys know, okay, I got it installed on the GPU. Granted, I made a mistake, but well, anyway, that's going to go ahead and be enough for this video. I got out what I wanted to. I showed you guys the stuff that I wanted to show you that I'm happy about. I might even actually record some Dead Space after I'm done with this video. So, with that being said, depending on where you guys live in the world, I hope you have a good day or night, because it's currently, as you can see, 1:07 a.m. for me right now, Eastern Standard Time. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Or you can make fun of me for being the dumbass for, what picture is it? Is it this one? Yeah, for leaving this damn thing on. Go ahead and make fun of me for that one, because you should have seen how much I was cussing myself out. Like, you stupid son of a bitch. You know, because everything was overheating so fast that just, it was pretty much like the little pump thing on the H50 was just coming into contact with that, to where it had just a little bit of it on the water block itself. Just enough to touch the thermal paste. That's it. That's why my computer was resetting. But anyway, okay. I thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which is hopefully Dead Space. Peace.